the Association of Certified Fraud Examiners. Together, reducing fraud worldwide.
So at its basics, social engineering is, the manipulation of somebody masquerading normally as somebody else that tries to get you to give them some sort of information or get something from you, normally for fraudulent purposes, right? They're trying to get personal identifying information or get you to do something for fraudulent purposes. I think when it comes to the traditional scams, the two ones that I can think of right now are the elderly and new immigrants to the country, because sometimes they don't understand the laws when it comes to the country. Right now we see a lot of the phone call, in Canada it's the Canadian Revenue Agency, the CRA scams, and we're seeing a lot of new immigrants to the country. They don't understand how policing works in Canada, and maybe they think that, yes, I can get arrested for owing some money or something like that. So it's the vulnerable people in society that may just not understand or may not know how to reach out to somebody for help, right? So those are the two common groups that we see being targeted. I think as fraud examiners, there's a few things that we can do. I think that there is prevention. Obviously, there's a lot more that we can be doing from a prevention standpoint. I think there's a lot more we can be doing from an educational standpoint to, make people aware that these scams are out there and how to not fall victim to them. So I think that's part of our mandate as investigators that we can be doing a little bit more in. But when it comes to investigations, absolutely we can use social engineering tactics. We use them all the time in investigations. You can do covert investigations where you pretend to be somebody else and you're trying to gather information from that person as part of your investigation. And it's the same sort of thing, but we're obviously not using it for fraudulent means. We're using it as part of to catch that criminal that's doing that fraud. I think the big one is, especially when it comes to the phone calls and the emails, which is the most common one we see, is to just slow down a little bit, right? Criminals know that when they put, or not even just criminals, but fraudsters or anybody know that when they put urgency in that email or in that phone call, we're going to react. Right? And we all have this sort of Pavlovian response when it comes to emails. We want to open up that email and we want to see who's emailing us, and we want to react. Right? And they're pretending to be our CEO or they're pretending to be from inside the company. And I think we just need to slow down a little bit and look at that email or listen to that phone call and trust our instincts a little bit more. I think people are reacting too quickly these days because we're trained to do that. We've been trained for so long to, you get an email, you respond to it. But now we're saying you need to slow down a little bit and look at that email or that phone call and just to make sure that it's correct before you listen to what they want you to do. All right, so just take a minute or two to think about it.